Welcome to the Real Estate Espresso Podcast, your morning shot of what's new in the world of real estate investing. I'm your host, Victor Menashe. If you're loving what you're hearing on the podcast, go out and tell 2 friends today. Show them how easy it is to subscribe to the show. The Real Estate Espresso Podcast can be heard on more than 20 different platforms. Spread the love around. Why keep all this goodness to yourself? On today's show, we're talking about how Elon Musk could change the dynamics of real estate forever. Now, you're probably thinking that's a bold statement. You might be thinking I'm talking about electric cars, but I'm not. You see, the value of real estate is determined by location. Location matters for several reasons. People want to be close to certain amenities. They want certain geographic features. They don't want to have to travel too far to get to the grocery store or eat a nice dinner in a restaurant or commute to work. Many people view their house as a sanctuary, a place to get away from the density and hustle and bustle of the city. But rural properties suffer from a number of problems. Unless the city has brought the municipal infrastructure to your property, the cost of building and maintaining your own infrastructure is less appealing than using city services. We're accustomed to having 7 utilities at our property. We expect electricity, water, sewer, natural gas, TV, telephone, and internet. And if one of those are missing, the property is less desirable. The cost to bring those services to your property can be prohibitive. Very few people want to be truly off-grid. Most rural properties today at least have electricity. If you don't have a natural gas pipeline, then propane delivery service is a reasonable substitute. Water can be accessed by drilling a well, and modern septic solutions have really improved in recent decades. But if you don't have decent internet service, that's hard to overcome. We live in a connected world, and I know I would not buy a property where I can't get acceptable internet service. 4G cellular solutions or even 5G cellular solutions are still too costly and too slow for hardcore household or business use. Sure, I've made do with cellular service while traveling in Europe, but I was in a dense urban location. Living aboard my boat and uploading the podcast using my phone on a mobile device, that was okay for a period of time. There's no way I could run a business for a sustained period of time using cellular data for video conferencing 7 hours a day. It's simply not sustainable. I've received quotes from AT&T to bring fiber service to various properties. They will pull 1,600 feet of fiber for free for a new installation. Anything more than that will cost the subscriber $7 per foot. AT&T doesn't like to mount their fiber overhead on electrical poles. They find that the fiber is fragile and damaged by high winds, can easily cause outages. Fiber is best buried in the ground in a conduit. That's why it costs $7 a foot. They're not gouging their customers by charging that amount. It really does cost $7 a foot to bury fiber. And if your closest fiber connection point is a mile away, you're looking at a cost of $37,000 to bring the fiber to your property. If you're 2 miles away, you're looking at $74,000 to bring high-speed internet to your property. That's starting to become prohibitively expensive. Well, a little over a year ago, SpaceX launched its first satellites for its Starlink service of low Earth orbit satellites. This mesh of satellites will enable global rural communications. Eventually, SpaceX hopes to launch 42,000 satellites to service rural internet service virtually every corner of the globe, including the high Arctic. Today's satellite internet service uses geostationary satellites, but in order to match the Earth's rotation, those satellites have got to be 22,236 miles from the Earth's surface. Even at the speed of light, it takes about 1/9 of a second to reach the satellite one way from the Earth. Sending a round-trip message to a satellite, then to a destination on Earth and back, takes a little more than half a second. That's a long delay in the world of computing. And that's just the travel time. The computers on the other end need to take some time to process the information. So satellite internet traditionally has been very, very slow. The Starlink service has already over 1,000 satellites in service, and each launch of the Falcon 9 rocket carries another 60 satellites. Friends of mine are already participating in the limited beta trial of Starlink service. Downlink speeds of 70 to 80 megabits per second are pretty respectable, and uplink speeds of 20 megabits per second are also quite acceptable. That's what's been reported to me by friends of mine. The service today is prone to short-term outages. Uptime statistics are reported to be between 98.5% and 99%. These brief outages are the result of gaps in coverage, and as more satellites are launched, these brief periods of downtime should disappear. If the launch schedule is maintained, there should be 12,000 satellites circling the Earth at a distance of 340 miles by 2024. Now the price for a receiver is $450 and the service costs $99 a month. I just purchased a rural property from my wife and I, and the Starlink service indicates we should be eligible to get a Starlink receiver later this year. If I can get respectable internet service for under $500 in upfront investment and $99 a month, pretty much anywhere, then the choice of property location opens up dramatically. And that, folks, is how Elon Musk is going to forever change the world of real estate. As you think about that, have an awesome rest of your day. Go make some great things happen. I'll talk to you again tomorrow.